Yeah, it's like 93 degrees in this house of the rising sun. How's everybody doing? You know, don't get theme music, which, that's a shame. You have to listen to me for a minute as we walk our way into things. And right now, apparently through StreamYard, I can put the camera the other way, but through mobile now, they want it this way. But I have a plan for today. So we'll see how it goes. But how's everybody doing? How are we feeling? We feeling good? Cave of Wonders, fishing things with Lando, Cosmin, Ashley, what's going on? Welcome. Coro, good to see you, brother. Dean, what is going on? Night Owl Aquatics, what's up? Guy Ashby, Rosebud, hello. Lindworth, Andrew, and Hydro Cooled Carrot, hello. And Darbwire, what's up? Frank B, what's up? Good evening from Canada. Wolf HVAC dude. Should I get a mini split for my house? We need AC really bad in here. It's like probably 90 degrees in here, 93, and it with the autoimmune stuff, you guys can probably see it's not good. It gives me a bad response to it. Um, but yeah. Oh wait, somebody said Jawbreaker is now able to talk. Right on. I'm glad that your jaw's not broken. My, pardon me if I just look like a ball of itchiness. Don't forget to smash that like button. That would be great. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Oh, Adilo, that's warm. Yeah, it's like whatever, 40 Celsius. So, not quite. Wait. Yeah, it's like 35 to 40 Celsius, somewhere in there. I can't think right now. But I wanted to see how everybody's doing. And also, I wanted to show you guys some of the fishies that are in. So, a lot of people may have heard that redfish, bluefish, my good buddy Jason, he is no longer in the biz. So, he's no longer giving us the biz in the biz with the European rare imports. But kind of some good news is that he basically has given up the secrets of his importing from Europe. So now all the aquarium glauser stuff and related stuff that he was bringing in, Dan's Fish is going to be bringing in, plus Moonlight Aquatics is also going to be working on bringing in some of that stuff too. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of it all still around because he did get some really unique stuff. But I know nobody's going to be able to track down like Ukrainian angelfish during a war. Like that's just Jason's craziness, you know. Guy, you're battling the heat too. I'm sorry to hear that. My name is Nobody. Hey, dude, do rainbows prefer slow flow or a good amount of flow? Curious and can't really find an answer. So, usually rainbows live in a river or in a flooded forest that is draining, like a creek or a basin within that forest, like a low spot. They're generally in pretty clear water also, and sometimes they're in brackish water. They tend to live along the first 10 miles of rivers, creeks, and flooded mangrove swamps and things. And so they do really appreciate the water being oxygenated. They don't require the flow. They do require pretty good oxygenation. Like a hang off the back filter is actually fine, but if you give them more, like a power head or a real busy hang off the back filter, then they're gonna actually just color up better. They're gonna look more lively. So yeah. Um, Bugsy, hello, man. Free, uh, what's up, free BSD? Uh, Ashley, let's see here, says, can someone check unit? Oh, get someone to check. Oh, we don't have well, okay, we have a window unit that's only good for like 400 square feet or something. And so in a room that's like whatever, 500 square feet or 600 square feet connected, it brings the temp down maybe 5 to 10 degrees on a hot day, and then like it doesn't help the bedrooms at all, and that's what I'm worried about is the fish room. So I want to take that old AC, and if it's a really scary hot day like over 95, I'll put that hopefully in the fish room. But we want to look into getting like a mini split type thing, like to mount somewhere in here, up maybe up on the ceiling or something. The other thing I really want to do is get a backdrop. So Adam Ragusia was able to do a video with me, which is cool. He got me involved with talking about setting up deep substrate filtration, as well as planted tanks, and as well as micro diversity, micro ecology and biology, flora and fauna. And he's going to be doing a video. He's doing a tank right now in Aquascape that he's dry starting, and then he wants to introduce like as much beneficial microflora and fauna as possible. And so he was kind of consulting me on what to do with that, and hopefully, you know, it sounds like the channel will be featured on there in a month or two or whenever he makes it. And you know, he's got a vast following. But beyond that, I've always really looked up to Adam Ragusia's cooking stuff and his just the way he edits, the way he kind of philosophizes about things. He muses on things, so that's pretty cool. But we've got it in the can. It's recorded. We talked for an hour or two on the phone and in chat and stuff, and then we recorded a video stream like that's in HD 4K here. It recorded on site here, and then that file got sent to him, but it was like an interview, like a live stream. Oh yeah, hurricane warning in Houston. I hope you guys are all you know, doing okay, hunkered down, and you know, bundled up. I don't know what to say. Boarded up, I suppose. Oh, you know what? Now that everybody's here and I can turn you all away with a flick of the wrist or a flick of the tongue, I wanted to say, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Hey, pretty baby, don't say maybe. How's about having a little old company? I got a 4-door ride right over the hill. A place where we can... Okay, no, we're done. What? My wife is like, shut up. The dogs in the neighborhood are barking again. But gotta like the old Woody Guthrie and... what's his name? Is it Woody Guthrie? Wait, who originally did that song? You're live. And it says I'm live. What's going on? Hank Williams, thank you. Hank Williams, that's the original. And Adam Miller, what's up? Yeah. What a twangy voice. Who would ever think? It's kind of like, what do you call him? Neil Young and his voice, how some, you know, it's just like, that, is that listenable? Can we even stand it? And then you hear it and you're just, there's, you know, there's something about it. So guys, I want to, and speaking of doing this, I want to do it today because something is changing in this ecosystem right here. I know it looks a little, hold on. We got a little bit of fog on the lens. Let me try to clear that up first. But we've got fish in here. They're getting to a point where I need to move them. And the Danios, there were like 12 Danios in here of these tin winnies. And right now, I think there's like not even 8 of them. So a few of them died. And also my little gastromyzons died. The 2 of them that I had in here with the little red tails. and I have no idea why. The pH hasn't changed. But the thing I am wondering is this tank is one of my oldest tanks by Substrate. It's a very, very old, thick substrate. And I'm wondering if all the shells building up in here are making it harder and harder, and it's more like a neutral tank with a rising TDS and something kind of like the bottom dropped out of it or something. I don't really know for sure. It could also just be that crazy heat that we've had lately. You know, over 90 degrees can wreak havoc on the aquarium when you can't really dial it in at all. But yeah, so because of all of that, it makes me want to split things up. And so my plan is to put the guppies in their own container. I've got a blonde strain, and then everybody over middle age guppy in here could be potentially cut with this line, with the rainbow metallic snakeskin line. And so that is quite different than the all blonde double sword tail, or whatever you want to call it, maybe a lyre tail. But you see, the blonde ones have no trace of, like, they're really blonde, so they're true double recessive blondes, and I want to keep that on the side. I want to keep that strain going, and see, there's a bunch of them that size right there. Any that are younger than that probably have this metallic snakeskin in them, and then we'll probably be separated. But I want to, have both, and the glass belly ones. The other thing that's going on in here that I wanted to show you is that these tin winnies that are left, they are coloring up for spawning because of the warmth. It's reminding them of the flooded forest and jungle getting warm. And you'll see that instead of just the normal silver and gold color, there's kind of like a purple or a I don't know, crimson or mahogany with a hint of red hue that's like iridescent, that flashes on them, especially if I can move some of these plants out of the way and just get them to come up front for you for a sec, catch them at the right angle. But yeah, and so the males have that nice finish that has some purple in it. The females, not so much. Yeah, right here. See, and their sides are kind of blue now instead of black. The dots and the lines on them, they have like a weird kind of auburny purple color, and then the lines themselves actually are a deep navy blue. So I think danios are super underrated, especially all the, there's all the normal ones we think of, like the longfin zebras and the leopard danios and chopras and all that stuff. But there are, over 100 out there, and some of them are just really beautiful and have a lot of moods, if you know what I mean. It really changes. 102 in Eugene today. Yeah, that's hot. I think it got to 93 or 4 here. And tomorrow and the next day it's supposed to be hotter, so I gotta probably freeze some water bottles or do something. We'll see how the fish are doing today in the fish room. I've just had the lights off and done nothing in there. Also, I was going to say, what I was trying to get out of this tank and set aside, because I'm having an urge, guys. I'm having an urge to totally redo. This grows so fast. Literally every week, I need to cut all of this. And it's just growing way too fast for me. Like, I can't even see my beautiful moss and bucephalandra that last week during the live stream, that was like the focal point of the whole tank. And I can't even see it right now. These tetras are super happy with it being a jungle in here. No CO2 in here, just fairly strong light up here with the twin star. And then we've got my pretty boy, my giant betta. Hi, buddy. How are you? He's getting so big. And this guy is a true giant betta of the lines that are giant. He's finally getting to the size now where, he's an impressive size. He's longer than my pinky is, and just a beautiful little fishy fish. And I've got a few other giants that are his age that are in the other room growing out. And then also we've got the angels in here that are also still. I mean, they're relatively small too, right? So they do need room though. Like right now, they've got room that's been cut in the underbrush for them to do a swimming loop around the whole thing. Like they can go easily back down in here all the way to the bottom. But you know, I just want them to have room so that we can watch them, as well as them being out. So I kind of want to like cut a lot of this and make it into an iwagumi tank with like maybe a big stone here and a few others here, and then low crypts and things like that with maybe stem plants in the back. I don't know. But I also wanted to show you just how out of control the hybrid Fraseri croffifolia has gotten. It is bonkers how big these little rabbit-eared leaves get when they're immersed and not in the tank. I mean, these things are, compared to my hand, they're probably almost 2 feet, like when they get fully, like this one here. Super cool though. But they're probably both Anubias barteri genus. They're just two types that have been hybridized together. And they come up out of the water like this with these little tabs. And then as soon as they make a name for themselves and get up out over things, most of them will grow those ears. Some of them kind of stay like that, but most of them get these funny ears. Now, there's also another Anubias over here, and it's got something viral wrong with it, I think. It's got like these kind of cancerous, it could be a wasp or it could be some little insect, but usually on trees, I got to do some research. When you get these hard nodules, it's from like, something laying its eggs inside of that plant. And so I don't know what is causing it. Also, the color is really off and weird, and so is the texture. So I don't know if it's just adjusting to being immersed or, if it's the fact that it's a hybrid, but yeah. Carrie Britton, super glad your streaming things aren't so good at my house at the moment. Needed to connect with my aquarium hobbyists to get some peace, brother. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope things get better, and yeah, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Just Joe says yes. I have a bush of Ludwigia glandulosa that I'm having a hard time keeping up with. Yeah, the stem plants can be bonkers. I've got some of the Ludwigias back in here, and they kind of on purpose are hidden underneath all this floating stuff, like this arcuata. And a lot of it's not even planted, and so that keeps it like alive, but it's not flourishing, because when it's flourishing, this happens. I mean, all the Bacopa hybrids that I have are going insane. All of the Kabambas going insane. What's also nice though is that the Lagonandra carolensis, pink chocolate, is doing really well. And that was kind of an oddball plant that I had, that for a long time it was only just getting these starts and then they'd rot away. So I'm glad that one's doing okay now. Potamogeton is also doing okay. The Madagascar lace plant seems to be doing okay. The one that is not is the silver powder that has been just on. I mean, it's been on its last legs for. The Lagonandra silver powder had been on its last legs for freaking 3 years, I think. Alan and I have been talking and like, is it doing okay? Is it well enough that I can send you a cutting? And I'd be like, almost, and then no. And then almost, and then no. Also, you can see over here, Barclay longifolia. This is a plant that doesn't get a lot of love in the hobby, but it has a beautiful purple color. The leaves get super tall. I mean, this plant will grow like yay big. It'll grow way up and out of the tank. And then there's more Lagonandra small stuff, Carolensis mini, down in here, and it's just barely peeking through. It's like a real textured plant, um, and there's some snail eggs on it too, which is annoying. But again, there's more of it over here. This is the red variety, um, and it's just doing its thing. And yeah, so the last thing I was gonna say about this tank was that I wanted to move all of the Mekong rice fish because there are the Mekong Delta rice fish species in here, and they are supposed to get their own tank. And I bought that aquarium co-op tank forever ago now, like months and months ago, um, with the thought that, oh, this is where I'm going to try to raise those rice fish. Because I just don't know how a rice fish that's only a third of an inch or half of an inch fully grown, how it even has eggs big enough to like hang on its belly all day. I'm trying to find one right now. So between those and between the Andouzi pencilfish. So here's one of the Andouzi pencilfish right here. Actually, there's two of them. Two females. They kind of just hit the deck. But they have a red tail usually, and they're a real pretty one. But basically, these little endlers slash guppies are just taking over this tank. And I kind of want to reset or revamp a little bit. You know, I've had collectoritis for so long where I get new plants and I'm like, oh, cool, I don't have that one yet, and I want to see it grow and I want to see what it does and everything. But then I don't have room for just growing out, you know, a normal, humble looking scape, and I end up with all these like oddball plants crammed in, and none of them even look good. So that's something in my head that like is something I would like to work on. But I was hoping that one of the rice fish would come forward, because at one point I bought 6 of them, and I think there's more than that now. I think there's like maybe 10 or 12 in here now. So they were reproducing before all the little guppies started appearing, and I would like to encourage them to do that again in the 4-gallon tank. So I'm just gonna see if we can find any in the back over here. Also, oh yeah, there's a nice Andouzi pencilfish. See it go by? Such a beautiful fish. So those are another one that they're not live bearers or anything, but they are really pretty fish, and they stay extremely small. I mean, we're talking the size of a little baby guppy. As same for with these yellow polka dot rasboras, they stay super tiny as well. So I was hoping that we could get all of those out. Oh, we got a new baby over here. Did you guys see it? Let's see if I can catch another glimpse of it. I can't tell what species it is. I just got a little view of a tiny, tiny little fish. So, okay, and there we have a Mekong right up here at the top. We have the Mekong rice fish, which are they're like the Madakas. There we go. Sorry, I know you guys are getting glare. I'm hoping that I can get a nice angle of that rice fish again, but he might have just swam off and said, forget about you guys. But in any case, so that's the goal, is to get the stuff out of here that's the super tiny species, separate them, and see if we can spawn some of those together maybe, because they're all very, very peaceful, and they're all really, really laid back, peaceful fish. So hope to do that. You know, another thing that people ask me is, how do I stop my fish from jumping? And besides having floating plants, which will actually cause them just to be out of sight, out of mind. Hey, there's the little fish. What are you? Are you just you're just a young endler, aren't you? You were just like born yesterday. I can't tell. Oh no, he's got blue eyes. So it's a rice fish. The rice fish with the blue eyes. Little teeny guy. Um, so any case, so yeah, they are spawning in here, which is good because the other tetras, I've had everything but Rasbora tetras, or rummy nose tetras rather, show up in here now, including these diamonds, including the Von Rio or Flames, and the Phantoms are frequently spawn in here. Also the um, Imperial Lapis, and then here's our good old boy, our good buddy old pal, Luke Wayne. What's up? Let's see here. Alex, I need a Barclay if you have babies. Yeah, I can. Can I do that already? I had more. Yeah, I do. I've got another plant back in here that it was the same plant as this one. Um, haven't been running CO2 or anything in a long time. There's cobwebs on the CO2. But I still have a whole 20-pound canister of it under here. So I could be using it. And look at this mulm and just natural. It looks like the redwood forest with how much duff and mulm and then substrate and then moss there is. I kind of don't know what to do, if I want to like clean it all up and make it look nice and tidy, or if I want to just like keep pushing to see how far this craziness goes. I don't know. Between these two tanks, I'm a little torn. I'm a little torn on all of the fish room at the moment, on like what course to bring it to, also for you guys to have entertaining or fulfilling content projects to be working on. But I was going to say, fish jumping is a big issue for some people. I don't have a lot of issues with it. I'll always leave at least, an inch or two of room so that, one, it's not filled right to the brim. In some cases, it's really not. And then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put a figurine, especially something like a pigeon, like that little pigeon Pepe I have, and the shark, and literally I don't think it matters what it is. It's something looming over them. And so they'll come to the top a lot of times when I'm sitting all the way across the room, and they'll poke their head up to the top, and then all of a sudden they'll just dart back down and hide, like something scared the bejesus out of them. So I think it works pretty darn well. The other thing, oh, hey, thank you so much, Big Steve's Glass Box. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys, if I'm slacking on the super chats. Let me make sure hopefully I'm not missing any others. Make a time lapse of ripping everything out, sorting by species, and then replanting and siphoning and whatnot. Be a good demonstration of manicuring a jungle. I have done that in the past. Oh, geez, this room is so hot. I don't know if I can handle this room, you guys. Let's see if I can even handle the fogginess on my lens. Can I even? I don't know. We'll see how everybody's doing. I know which tanks are going to have the issues. This one was one I'm worried about with the rainbows and the pseudomagills because they need lots of oxygenation, flowing water. They look like they're happy as clams, but and so do the little buddies, our little buddies. Over here, also the betta imbolus doing well. They had some babies, which is cool. They are bubble nesters, but I never saw any bubble nest. But there are some babies in with them, like little tiny babies. And so I don't know like what the deal is with that, but great. Also the Goodyids in here, they are making a mess. Now, what's going on in here is you got like this fog. And what I'm also seeing, I just turned on the lights and this wasn't here yesterday. That looks like fungus to me. You can also see there's a cyanobacteria. And I think that because of the crazy high temperature and all the organics in this tank, this is another old tank, Another one with Substrate that's ancient and literally has only ever had Crypt Undulata and Axelrod packed in there. So I'm curious what's going to happen there. I would normally advise anybody else to suction that all up and get rid of it, but I am kind of curious to let it play out and do its thing. Also, here we've got my little favorite couple in the tank, which is, here comes the female. She's looking nice and pretty today. And they're all doing the Scud hunt. They're on the Scud hunt lookout. Oh, thanks, John. I don't think my tanks are looking very good, but I'm glad you think they look good. In here, I'm starting to raise Malawa shrimp along with all the other stuff like paramecium and scuds. Over in here, we've got more scuds and paramecium, and then we've got Daphnia in this one. Then over here, this is the main Scud tank, where literally I can get scuds out of here for hours at a time. There are so many freaking scuds because I just take all my plant clippings and toss them up there. And then I can just squirt all the scuds down into here. And let's see here. The only thing I am a little worried about is that perhaps I will introduce too much of the, this nitrifying or nitrogen-rich content, all this decaying debris. I don't want to introduce that in particular to the ecosystem down here and have like a crazy spike. But I do want to have all the scuds we can get, because look at Mama, she's so hungry. Hey, what was that about? I've never seen her miss. I've never seen her miss. This guy's going, the white cheek gobies are going hunting. Also the male Tianacara candidi doing good. These are probably one of my favorite little cichlids. They only get about the size of like the first 2 joints on my pinky, like maybe 2 inches max. And the female, she's cute. She gets a yellow and burgundy color with some other hints of metallic. And then the male will get more of a blue with the rocket ship look. They're just a cool fish, really cool fish. Likewise, let's see here. My beta compuncta, also, his female and him have been fighting. So the young female that was growing out with him is finally, she's on her own up here in this tank, and eating as many scuds as she wants in a super acidic tank. And he is kind of on timeout for being a jerk face. He's big. He's going on 3.5 inches, maybe 4. And then in here we've got the beta, which the beta Maha chiensis. What's crazy about this situation is we've got 5 adults. We've got 2 males that are obviously males, and then females. Now, they do flare up their fins and their cheeks like this. See this guy here? He's flaring his cheeks. But they don't actually bite and attack each other. And I don't know if it's that there's just not a lot of room in this tank, or the pH is low, the lights are low, whatever it may be. But they get along really well in there. And I just keep them super fed on scuds out of there. And everything has worked out really well. Look at this. She's just eating anything that comes with the scuds. Tommy's World Ninja Legoland. We love rides. That's a lot of things to say. Hello. Curious what super acidic pH is in the tank. Steven, so this tank here is going to be at 6.0. This one is at 6.5 or so. Then this one is all the way down at like 4 or 4.5. And this one's probably at 5.5. Moss barely grows in it. Everything else dies and dissolves. These ones, you can tell it's over 6 usually if any plants are surviving, but beyond that, there's also shrimp in this one. And shrimp are not going to live in those low conditions. Only kind of extremophile critters and this fungus and bacteria and planaria and detritus worms. They're living essentially in my compost bin there. And you can see the bettas, the Maha chiensis and the Beta Malak, say hi to each other, and you can see the size difference, well, if there wasn't glare, but between Beta Malak compuncta and Beta Maha chiensis full grown, which is where we get the alien bettas looks from. I need to clean the tanks. Well, the problem is that a lot of these tanks actually they thrive off of what's growing on the sides of the tanks. So, like here, in this tank, I don't want to clean the sides, for instance. I want to clean so I can show you guys. That's about the extent of it, though. But, like, I need all of that there to keep this, to not have a filter at all, no electricity other than the light, to not have a filter, not have moving water, not do water changes other than evaporation top off, and to keep shrimp alive, and to keep snails and sundadanios and chili rasboras and any little micro critters. It's a tall order, and it's a balance, and so you actually want as much of the algae and the microbiome as possible on some of them. You know, on others, I can't take it, so I need some tanks that look semi-passable as okay, you know, tanks. But there's something else going on in this tank right here that you may not notice, which is up here, see these white dots? That is paramecium. That's these little slipper-shaped critters. And those are fish food. They are fish, like, fish love that more than anything. Any of that little life. The other thing that we've got going on is we've got a female betta. These are just domestic bettas, but we've got a female back there, the male right here, and I think he's got eggs today finally. I can't tell for sure if there's eggs in the nest, but he looks like he's guarding the nest finally, which before he made the nest and then he just peaced out. Also, we've got the green Neocaridina colony, and there's also tetras in here. And then, but yeah, he's doing his thing. Then over here, the glass belly guppies doing their thing. And all of these guys breeding. The hovering loaches, there's got to be 15 in here now. But they hide. Like, here's the young, one of the young ones. There's a Scud right there. Is anybody going to get him? Anybody going to get that Scud? We have a rogue Scud. Oh, look, they're all kind of popping up. Those are the young males right there. There's a female. There's a rosy loach. And then red arc pencilfish. But you can see the difference between a baby male and a female right there. And then another, there's one that's almost a full-grown male right here. You see his nose is getting pointier? Whereas the baby has a real blunt nose until he's full length. But they're all over in this tank, just everywhere. And they need that to, they need all of the different stuff in there to be surviving and doing well. Let's see here. So, I think I showed you these, the Danio Negro Fasciatus that I got last time. They're just chilling, doing their thing, zipping around. The lights have been off, like I said, all day, so nobody's got good color. Everybody's colored down, stressed. They're freaking out because they're like, ah, what's going on? Why is the light on now? And it's probably, honestly, like, this light shouldn't even be on at all because this little tank will heat up another few degrees. So we'll be turning off all the lights again on everybody other than this betta can handle it, and these two bettas can handle it. But we got the little female. Yeah, it looks like she might be done with her eggs now. She may even have a little injury on her cloaca. Looks like she's got a little bump there. And I think, can't tell for sure, but I think there are eggs rafted up in there. So we'll see. Now, the other thing is the betta mahachiensis. They're in this tank right over here. Hold on. This tank right over here, and super tiny. There's one that you can see, and you can probably see the little microorganisms living in the tank too with them. So they've got wild style Malawa shrimp with them, and that's the biggest of all of the betta mahachiensis right now. But there are at least about 24 in here at the moment. Oh, there's another one that's pretty good size, actually. And then they're all over in here. Really tiny at the moment. But they'll just be getting... Basically, somebody commented, why don't you clean your tank? Why don't you clean the tank? Well, because it's exactly... this stuff right here, see these little white specks? If you watch them, they're moving, and they're little life forms. They're the perfect food so that I don't have to feed the babies 10 times a day with some powdered flake food or whatever. Plus, they're like 60 to 70% protein by weight, and they have all the trace nutrients. And so I just take this and then literally just add it to their water in this little tank here, and they've got food now for the next few days, essentially. And then as they get bigger, they'll get, you know, bigger and bigger food, more like the Scud type stuff. But that's where we're at right now. Then over here, during my video the other day, I trimmed the hair grass just to show, like, oh look, I've still got a carpet of hair grass. But what's really amazing is this is low tech. This is low tech. It's essentially filterless. It does have a filter, but look how slow it is and how, like, I let it clog on purpose. Just to get it into filterless mode. And so it's very low oxygen, very low filter. There are shrimp in here, right here. See, there's some Malawa shrimp that are helping clean and work on the carpet here. But honestly, I'm just seeing if with a low boy tank, this really crappy light, and with the right balance of fish and micro life forms, so that means things like snails, shrimp, scuds, nematodes, blackworms, you know, all the different things. If we can get the moss to graft and look nice, so I'm going to start trimming that soon. And then also the carpeting hair grass. Right now, this is actually still pretty darn dense for having such a low light. If I put high light on this or started adding ferts, it would go crazy and back to feral, or I mean back to not feral. So I've been ignoring the chat, and I need to not do that. So I'm coming back, you guys. But let me wash off my hands real quick. Let's see how hot it is in here. Alright, so we got 271 of y'all hanging out in here, yet only 61 likes. Is that for real? Do you guys hate me that much? Am I that big of a fool? Am I a fool? Alright, so if you're wondering why I'm sweaty, actually, I suppose I gotta do I have to do this now? Yeah, 89. So then if we go to 32 Celsius in here, so it's pretty warm, and the humidity in that room was up in the like 40%, which is as high as I ever want to see it. Higher than that, and it's gonna like drip and accumulate. Yeah, look at the cute little babies. So we do have some babies in here with little blue eyes. So I'll be curious how many of them there are, because I would bet you that these two won't have a problem eating them like ASAP. Hey, there's a Mekong rice fish right there. So that's what they look like naturally. They haven't been domesticated at all. That's a fully grown. That's the biggest one I have by far. And that's the size they are. They're just kind of a quirky, odd, wild fish that is likely very threatened right now with the dams being built on the river and the way they reproduce needing fine leaves and things. Kent, thanks, man. I got my hair cut a while back. Let's see if Mr. Betta, who I haven't named out of just like I don't want to name him and jinx myself. Let's see if he'll come up for a head bump. Hi, buddy. Yeah, this giant betta is like the sweetest betta I've ever had. He's so peaceful to the other fish too. But he always wants a little head boop, even if I don't feed him. Like, I didn't teach him this as a reward or anything. He just comes up for a little head boop and likes to interact. So yeah. Yeah, Ossia, great point. If you want that infusoria or paramecium, like you saw that white stuff floating in the water that we were feeding to the baby fish, that is just called infusoria or paramecium. Depends on what you want to call it. But it is basically, as soon as a plant starts to decay, that starts forming, and it is little life forms that were dormant and that are always in our water and or the leaves of our stuff. Now today I mentioned we were going to do a giveaway. John Adams, hello from England. Hello. So Moonlight Aquatics, guys, you know, in the description I've got discount codes. So he's getting more fish on the 11th. So any day now. But he does still have a lot of really cool stuff like blueberry snails, $2.99 shrimp. I mean, I don't know anybody who's doing that right now in stores. Pom-pom crabs. But I mean, he's also doing crystal red S and double S grade shrimp for $4.99. Tangerine shrimp, $4.99. You know, blue bolts I think are $6 or $7.99. Clown killies and chili rasboras, like small fish, they're all like $3.99, $4.99. He has the Aru 4s, which we were looking at those in my aquarium. Really pretty. He's got those right now, and he's got those for $11.99. And you guys get another 10% off this price if you guys want to use my code as well. Now, he's also got these gold laser cories that look really good, but then he's got jumbo ones right now that look incredible. The other thing that he has a whole bunch of are these little Stiphidons, and he's got, I think, 5 or 6 species right now. And these aren't showing off their color or anything really, but the going price these days seems to be somewhere between $15 and $25. He has them usually for $15 to $20. He also has just some incredible rainbow fish, like the Kalitawas. These are a small rainbow, never get more than 2.5 inches or so, but they look absolutely gorgeous. That's what we were looking at in that last tank with the hair grass. You know, the neon blue eyes, pseudomagills. He's got a spotted Congo puffer right now for $139. This is the actual picture of the puffer. So I wanted to shout out what he's up to right now. You know, bringing in stuff that nobody else has. Plus, like, yeah, $7.99 for this grade of blue bolts. Like, that's a picture of his shop. Some of them have blue all the way down. Some of them have dark blue. Some of them have a little bit of yellow, but for the most part, they're like better than a lot of the shrimp I see for $15, $20 from private breeders. Grant Eder's probably the only person I know who beats that, in the way he does things. Also, his Corys are all like $6 to $10 usually, or $5 to $10, which is pretty cool. He's also been bringing in, like you saw those black Kohaku sword tails in my tank. I know that's hard to see. There we go. So those really cool. He's also got the red lizard whiptails, fully grown, which is nice. More of the neon blue Stiphodon. He's got these little pit bull plecos for only 15, which is a crazy good deal. They have like little snub noses, and they only get like an inch and a half to 2 inches long. Also, he's got rope fish. He's got, Congo tetras. And those are full grown. He's got dwarf rainbows for $6.99. Daisy's rice fish. Betta embolus, the ones I was showing you guys, $9.99. Venezuela orange cories, only $7.99. So, and more rainbow Stiphodon gobies. Actually, this isn't a Stiphodon. I'm surprised that's called the rainbow goby, but it's the Sicyopus cubensis, which, interestingly enough, I've never heard that called the rainbow goby. But he's also got the black Schultz for $14.99. My beautiful tetras that I love more than anything, the Imperial Lapis, they're going only $7.99 on his site. He was selling Scarlet Batis, $7.99. This shop is located in North Seattle, Washington, but you can shop online. It's all online also. I mean, look at some of these rainbow fish. Are really, really beautiful. And he's got really obscure collection points like Kali Awolium. Really unique fish that you just don't see other places. Like ever in... I've never seen them. He's also got the bird song, which I love these Stiphodons. He's also got the 136 plecos. He's going to be getting in more of the zebras and more of the L333s. They're all only $119, guys. He's also got the raccoon tetras, which are another really beautiful fish. Only $14.99, one of the new ones. The blueberry tetras, only $7.99. Just sold out of them, but I think he's getting more soon. Red-eyed puffers. Look at these guys. Really cool. So, I mean, he's just always got neat stuff. Check out his website. Only $79 for L333 for these king tiger plecos that are albino. I mean, look at that fish. And this is the size that they came in at like 2 months ago, and he still has them. So some of them are really good size. He's also got a few eels, including the tiger moray and the leopard moray freshwater. Oh, bummer, Jack. If they got intercepted in Hawaii. He's also got albino arowanas. Flaming arrow gobies, Pacific blue eyes. He had Melis pseudomcgills. He's got super whites that are this size, that are the like 2.5 or 3 inch, I think. And those ones are more pricey, but I mean those are $400 fish some places, $3.99. He's got these little spiny plecos. These are the white snowballs, and they're only $39.99. Pretty wild. And he's got some Apistos. He's got more gobies. He's got teardrop gobies, green belly gobies, and red lip gobies. All of which I've had. Those, they're all really fun, outgoing fish. Really cool ones. And he also is bringing in fire ant tetras for only $15, which is wild. He also sold out of these really quickly, and then he had some that were too young and just weren't growing right, and he didn't feel good about listing them. But he had pairs of Pseudomagillmellis, which is another kind of like dream fish for a lot of people. So he's picking up for sure. He's got these kind of new gobies too. They're out right now, but I think he gets more in a few days. But they're like the bumblebee freshwater gobies, but with like a crazy pattern. You can see the fish that I have too. These little Sahul Island rainbow fish, another small one. More of the Zebra Pleco L400s, which have like more of maze patterns and the higher fin sails. And then he also, not too long ago, had the true cherry tetras, which those are, I mean, those were going for $30 a piece at, I think, $24.99 at Wet Spot, and he was doing them for $14. Plus, you guys get 10% off. So, pretty sweet. I recommend you check out Moonlight Aquatics. And guys, we're going to give away a $50 gift card, which would easily cover any of your shipping costs. And he does ship to Hawaii and Alaska also. Now, the other place I want to shout out, of course, is Dan's Fish. And I'm going to tell you how you can win the $50 gift certificate soon. But I just want to point out, like, Dan has the raccoon tetras for $14.99 too. So they're probably sharing Jason's old source. Pygmy sword tails. I had those. Those are pricey. $89.99. That is crazy pricey. Some of these little live bears are really pretty. These Ziphophorus helleri, the original. He's also got the true Sanipa red wild caught. Also wild caught red Rio Amaya. And one has a black line down the back. One doesn't. They're both really new in the hobby. Also, hummingbird tetras, they're great. These are incredible fish with the red tails. That's what I was just telling you. I just lost probably the heat. Green laser cories. I mean, if you're looking for rare stuff that has been vetted 100%, like no, it's not going to have any sort of problems health-wise, Dan's Fish. Definitely Dan's Fish. You see some of the same fish that I just was looking at, like for instance the zebras that are $2.29 here for even smaller zebra plecos, or here $3.99, whereas it was only $2.29 plus you get 10% off, so really only $200. So if you know how to medicate your fish and what to look for in QT, then I recommend Moonlight for some things. And if you need something really special or breeding stock for a setup, or you want to know 100% that a strain came from where it says it came from the river or from the lake, then Dan's Fish is the one to go with. You'll pay more, but you will get the thing that you were expecting 100%. And that's hard to do these days in this business. Plus, also, it's been very clear that a lot of fish have really bad... Like, here's a better picture of the neon blue gobies that Chang has over at Moonlight. Dan has better pictures. Ooh, look at that. Look at that Stiffodon. Beautiful one. So they're both clearly getting things from similar sources in some cases. Also the Pitbull Pleco, $5 more with Dan, but I would bet that Dan has cleared out any parasites or anything like that that may have been in there. Also, the Liberty Mollies that are so beautiful from Dan's Fish. These guys were real pricey, and he brought a good amount of them in. I was kind of shocked. I think he must have got, yeah, aquarium glauser. But, I mean, they're just a really pretty, wild-looking live bear. And they were $149.99 for a trio. Now it is $74.99 for the trio. So, something to consider. Now, the last thing I want to shout out before I tell you about the gift card is Aquatic Arts. Of course, Aquatic Arts, they've been stepping back up. You know, for a while there, I was a little worried about their inventory. They're another one that does things well. And, you know, right now, if you want something like a glow light tetra, 50% or 40%, 47% off. And so that gets you down to $8.99. Well, then with the code FISHTERY15, you then get another 15% off. So you're knocking the price way down past what some of these sale prices are already listed for. And like this one here is a beautiful little fish. Love that nano fish. You know, absolutely love them. It looks like a lot of these new plecos are just showing up all over the place too, though. Really cool loaches. And of course, the thing that Aquatic Arts has that these other places that we've been looking at don't have, other than, you know, they've got golden wonder killifish, they've got the rosy botilla loaches, which are beautiful, the blue-tailed spotted gastromyzons, like there's the red version, well there's the blue version. They have these new barbs that aren't seen very often, and they've been selling koi as well. Their Mayan koi look bonkers. So do their black tiger Batis right now. They look really good, really chunky. The erythromicrons look really good, which has been a major pain for a long while in the hobby. Their high fin, banded shark loach. I mean, they've got a lot of good stuff. Assorted Dumbo guppies. These guys, these Mayan butterfly koi are wild. Look at how pretty those are from above. Also, they've got the Burmese lizard hillstream loaches. They're 46. They're super rare, but they've got the XXX down the back, or a chain link, depending on how you look at it. Super, super cool fish. Also, Phoenix Tetras. I mean, they've got some of the new Tetras already marked down 10%. You get another 15% if you use the code. And it supports me and what I'm doing here on the channel by supporting these independents with what they're doing. So, just wanted to shout that out. Now, let me tell you about how I'm going to give away the gift card. Now that y'all have stuck around, I can turn the light back on too. But now that you guys have stuck around and we've chatted, we've had good times, bad times, you know I've had my share. Boy, my fishy left home for a bigger cave, I sure don't seem to care. Oh, there's something floating in that. That was gross. Sorry, guys. Still have COVID too, by the way. I'm still testing positive, which we're over a week in, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll not by now. But if you want to win that $50 gift card, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 48 hours, okay? Wait, is that right? What day is it? 7 to 8, 9. No, 72 hours. So when Chang gets his new order in, all you have to do is comment on this live stream when it uploads. It probably won't upload right away, but come back later in the day, see what else I got going on the channel. I appreciate it if you do. But just comment, not in the stream here, just comment gift card, and I'll pick a winner with the random number generator. I'll count up how many comments there are, and then in order, you know, and then whatever number it is of comments, that person will be the winner. But that gives 3 days for all of y'all to catch up. I can announce it too. You can remember to come back, and we'll give away $50 cash for moonlightaquatics.com. And if you want to buy anything that we were looking at in the meantime, like I sure do, then you can decide to do so. You can use the discount codes that are in, they're always on the channel. Also, I was just going to say, this is the tank I've been waiting to set up over here. So, doing its thing, just waiting for those little rice fish. Just need to figure out where I'm going to put it. Because, one, I don't want to clutter up the very limited space we have for my wife and I. And I do want to have them somewhere where I can watch them, though, because they're so itty-bitty tiny. Tell them to import rare shrimp. There are a bunch of rare shrimp there, but if you want that, go to Grant Eder at Garden of Eder Shrimp. I've also got a discount code for them. In the description of this video, any specialty freshwater thing you could want, from vampire crabs to rainbow colored crabs to rope fish to, you know, anything that's legal in the US, there is probably somebody that I've got listed there in my sources that I work with and that I feel like is vetted. And if anything goes wrong, you can always come to me and say, Alex, this happened and they didn't make it right, and I will lose my mind over it. So they make things right because of that. If there ever is a problem, which rarely are there are a few bumps there with Aquatic Arts when they got new ownership. But yeah, all the codes are in the description, correct? Most of the codes are simply Fishery with a capital F and then 10 or 15, or Secret with a capital S. Yeah, Secret or Fishery with a capital F, capital S to the start of it, or they're all capitals and then there's either a 10 or a 15. That's always how my codes are. So if you're ever on a site and you're curious, like Flip Aquatics apparently still has a code that's live from 7 years ago. And someone used it the other day, and I was dumbfounded that I'd even had a code with them still from back when they were only doing US raised shrimp. You know, I don't say anything bad against them, but I only kind of vouched for them when they were doing native bred shrimp. Obviously, they're all imported at some point, but I'm trying to encourage people like Aquatic Arts who are trying to breed a whole lot of their Neocaridina and things to make them really hardy and make them stable so that they don't have any crazy outbreaks of whatever the latest, trendiest disease is. Greetings from Indonesia. Well, thank you. Greetings to you as well. What do you think about Salvinia natans and Salvinia colculata? I love them. Wolfia is the one I don't really like. Or Salvinia minima sometimes gets a little small and annoying. Yeah. Tips on growing YouTube. I wouldn't know. I can't even give you any tips on cooling down today. It's like so hot in here. I was gonna say, no, I only keep freshwater fishes. Wolfia is the devil. Steven, I agree, man. Aloha, hello, good to see you. Man, it's so, you guys, thank you so much. When I see so many members in here, lately, the videos I've been making, I've been putting, you know, sometimes 10 hours into, like, editing that silly, it was only 14 or 15 minutes long, the top 10 countdown of plants, but it had a lot of info and things moving, and I also rendered it in higher definition and uploaded it in higher definition. And I spent 9 or 10 hours editing it, and another probably 9 or 10 going and filming things on site, and then also writing the list of how I want to do it, erasing it, redoing it, making the thumbnail, writing the metadata, all that kind of stuff. And I'm getting views at 1,000 or 2,000 that's been up now over 24 hours, almost 2 days. And for a while there, we were getting like 10, 20,000 views on videos in a day or two. So I really don't know how the algorithm works, honestly. I'm here to just keep chugging out the stuff that the people who matter, that are in the chats, who are in the comments, who I communicate with every single day, you guys who are members, whatever you guys want to see, that's what I'm focusing on producing, because I get so drained trying to fight the algorithm, and I'm trying to be a good YouTuber and whatnot. And it's taken me 8 years to get to 72,000, and over half of that happened in the last year and a half. So I don't know what to tell you about growing it. Johnny, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. Always appreciated. Never ever expected, bud. But I want this, site to be an ongoing community and project and testament to my passion, your passion, everybody out here who just loves fish keeping and the discovery of new species. And, by the membership thing, that allows me to keep doing it more than anything else right now, more than the ad revenue and stuff like that. So thank you to everybody here, and to anybody who's going back and watching old videos that aren't even suggested. Like, you go to my homepage, the channel page, and you just go back and look through and see something. Like, that means so much to me. Dropping a comment, watching it, whatever. It helps a lot too. So, do you have a favorite type of snail? I like ram's horns and Malaysian trumpet snails. Simple, but Fishberg, thanks, buddy. Yeah. Jack Barlow, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. If we get something wrong on the channel, I will do my best to correct it. If it's really egregious, I'll just take it down. If it's just slightly off or wrong, or I pronounce something or forget to say some piece of something, usually I'll correct it in the pinned notes and in the description. But description of my videos, newest videos, always have my... Oh, thanks, buddy. Johnny, you're the best. But yeah, and Ashley, thank you as well. Guys, I'm going to get out of here because I am burning up just being animated and talking, and I'm going to head out. But remember to stop back by the comments for this stream when it's uploaded, and it should be up within a half hour to an hour. But you can pop by tomorrow, the next day. And then before the morning of the 11th, which is when he gets his next shipment of fish at Moonlight Aquatics, we're just going to give away $50 digitally, so you can use it on their website and buy whatever you want from them. We might even up it to 100 at the day of the drawing, depending on if anybody's using the code. I'll donate whatever accumulates from now until then. I'll throw towards that too. So how's that? Jack, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Another super chat, buddy. And Pyle, you're a little late. But yes, it's good to see you guys. I'm going to get some ice, like you said, Ashley, and I'm going to relax. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Thanks for joining me, you guys. And peace.